Namaskar, myself Vinod Kumar, currently working as a assistant professor in Department of Mathematics, Babu Banarsi Das, Northern India Institute of Technology, Lucknow. Today in this lecture, we will introduce you about limit, continuity and differentiability. So, okay, let us start the session. So, a limit of a function. What is limit of a function? So, here we define two definitions of limit. First is well known as delta epsilon definitions of limit or Euler's Cauchy definition. So, what is this definition of limit? A function f x is said to tend to limit L as x tends to a, written as x tending to a f x equal to L. If for arbitrary epsilon greater than 0, however small, there exists some delta greater than 0 depending upon epsilon, such that mod of f x minus L is less than epsilon whenever mod of x minus a is less than delta. Now, this is important point, depending upon epsilon means there exists some delta such that which depends upon epsilon. Now, understand this definition via a example. To consider a example, let it be limit x tends to 2x minus 3 equal to 1. Okay. So, clearly here if we replace x by 2, then this becomes 4 minus 3, that is 1. Now, we understand this limit via this definition delta epsilon, limit exists or not. Now, as mod of x minus 2 is less than delta, from this point x minus a is less than delta, say equation 1. Then now we take mod of f x minus L, which is equal to 2x minus 3 minus 1, this is also equal to 2x minus 4. This can be written as 2 times mod of x minus 2. Now, from 1, as mod of x minus 2 is less than delta, so this whole quantity is also less than 2 delta. Now, if we choose 2 delta is equal to epsilon, this implies delta is epsilon by 2. What we have? This is 2 into epsilon by 2, that is less than epsilon. So, for every arbitrary epsilon, we have delta is equal to epsilon by 2, which satisfies mod of f x minus L is less than epsilon, that is here is a relation between delta and epsilon. Here we have a relation between delta and epsilon, that is both are dependent to each other. So, there exists a delta greater than 0 such that depending upon epsilon mod of f x minus L is less than delta, hence we can say that this limit exists. Okay. So, equivalently, if the value of a function f x approaches to a number L when x approaches to a, that is x tending to a, from the right, then L is called the right hand limit of a function f x at x equal to a, denoted by R f a, that means right hand limit, or f of a plus 0. To determine this, we make h tending to 0 in the value of f x at x equal to a plus h. Thus, right hand limit can be written as r f a is equal to f of a plus 0. This is equal to limit x tending to a plus f x equal to limit h tending to 0 f of a plus h. Similarly, for left hand limit, we define as left hand limit written as L of f a is f of a minus 0. This is also equal to limit x tending to a minus f x equal to limit h tending to 0 f of a minus h. When we replace x by a minus h in f x, we get this as h tending to 0. Okay. Here, if we have to check a limit x tending to 0 mod of x, this limit exists or not. Now, we check left hand limit. फर्स्ट लेफ्ट हैंड लिमिट फाइंड करने से पहले इस मॉड ऑफ एक्स को हम एक्सपेंड करते हैं. तो एज वी नो दैट मॉड ऑफ एक्स हैव टू वैल्यूज, वन इज माइनस एक्स एंड अनदर इज प्लस एक्स. व्हेन माइनस एक्स when x is less than 0 and this is plus x when x is greater or equal to 0. So, if we evaluate left hand limit for this function, so left hand limit is limit x tending to 0 minus f x. This is equal to limit h tending to 0 f of 0 minus h, as x replaced by 0 minus h and limit h tending to 0. This is equal to, now we replace x by minus h in this function because of x tending to 0 minus. What we have, limit h tending to 0, this is minus of minus h which is 0. Now, if we calculate right hand limit, so right hand limit is limit x tending to 0 plus f x which is equal to limit h tending to 0 f of 0 plus h, that is limit h tending to 0. Now, we replace x by h in this f x equal to h. Okay. So, this gives h. This is when h tending to 0, this becomes 0. So, now we see that left hand limit is 0, right hand limit is also 0. Now, if the right hand limit of a function at x equal to a is equal to its right hand limit at x equal to a, then we say that limit x tending to a f of x exists and common value is called the limiting value of f x at x equal to a, written as limit x tending to a f of x equal to L. So, in previous we see that here left hand limit is equal to 0, right hand limit is equal to 0. So, this implies left hand limit is equal to right hand limit, hence we can say that given function f x equal to mod of x for limit x tending to 0 exist. So, this limit exists. Okay. Now, the algebra of limits. So, let f of x and g of x be two real valued functions with a common domain D. So, we define f comma g such that D to R, then sum, difference, product and quotient. So, if f plus g are two real valued function, then for all x belongs to D, f plus g of x can be defined as f of x plus g of x for all x belongs to D. So, in the case of limit, sum is limit x tending to a, f plus g of x equal to limit x tending to a, f of x plus limit x tending to a, g of x for all x belongs to D. Difference is limit x tending to a, f minus g of x equal to limit x tending to a, f of x minus limit x tending to a, g of x for all x belongs to D. Product limit x tending to a, f of g of x is limit x tending to a, f of x into limit x tending to a, g of x for all x belongs to D. Quotient is limit x tending to a, f upon g of x is limit x tending to a, f x divided by limit x tending to a, g of x for all x belongs to D. Provided that limit x tending to a, g of x cannot be 0. Then some important theorems on limit of a function. Theorem 1 is, if limit x tending to a, f of x exists, then it is unique. Existence means if left hand limit is equal to right hand limit of that function at x equal to a. Then theorem 2 is, if limit x tending to a, f x is equal to L and limit x tending to a, g x is equal to m, then limit x tending to a, f x plus minus g x is equal to L plus minus m. Then next is, if limit x tending to a, f x is L and limit x tending to a, g x is m, then limit x tending to a, f x into g x is equal to L into m. Theorem 4 is, if limit x tending to a, f x is equal to L and limit x tending to a, g x equal to m, then limit x tending to a, f x upon g x is equal to L over m, provided that m cannot be 0. So, example 1, prove that the limit of the function f defined by f x equal to mod of x upon x if x cannot be 0, if x cannot be 0 and this f x is 0, otherwise does not exist. So, if this limit does not exist, that means we have to show that left hand limit does not equal to right hand limit. Okay. So, B C left hand limit is f of 0 minus 0, or we can written as limit x tending to 0 minus f x. This is also equal to limit h tending to 0 f of 0 minus h. When we replace f x in given function by 0 minus h, then we have limit h tending to 0 f of minus h, which is equal to this. Because of limit x tending to 0 माइनस, हम लेफ्ट हैंड लिमिट की बात कर रहे हैं, तो x टेंडिंग टू 0 माइनस मीन्स आपका जो फंक्शन होगा एफ एक्स इज मॉड ऑफ x अपॉन x ऑलरेडी डिफाइन है, तो which is equal to limit h tending to 0 mod of minus h upon minus h equal to limit h tending to 0 h upon this is minus h, the whole limit becomes minus 1, that is left hand limit is minus 1. Now, for right hand limit, this is equal to f of 0 plus 0, or we can retain this limit as a limit x tending to 0 plus f x, which is equal to limit h tending to 0 f of 0 plus h equal to limit h tending to 0 f of h. Then after replacing x by h in f x, we have limit h tending to 0 mod of h upon h equal to mod of h is h, that is limit h tending to 0, h upon h, that is 1. So, here right hand limit is 1, left hand limit is minus 1. So, since left hand limit does not equal to right hand limit, then limit x tending to 0 mod x upon x does not exist. Now, continuity of a function. So, a function f x is said to be continuous at a point C if for any epsilon greater than 0 there exists some delta greater than 0 such that mod of f x minus f of c is less than epsilon, when mod of x minus c is less than delta, or equivalently we can say that a function f x is said to be continuous at a point x equal to a of its domain if and only if limit x tending to a f x equal to f of a. Thus, f x is continuous at x equal to a if and only if limit x tending to a minus f x, that means left hand limit, equal to limit x tending to a plus f x, that is right hand limit, is equal to f of a. What is f of a? F of a is the value of the function at that point. So, a function f x is said to be continuous at x equal to a if and only if left hand limit equal to right hand limit equal to value of the function at that point. So, a function f x fails to be continuous at x equal to a for any of the following reasons. So, any given function f x which is not continuous at x equal to a, any of the following reasons. So, reason 1, limit x tending to a f x exists, but it is not equal to f of a. What does this mean? Limit x tending to a f x exists, that means limit x tending to a minus f x equal to limit x tending to a plus f x, that means left hand limit equal to right hand limit. Then this limit exists, but it is not equal to f of a, that is this cannot be equal to f of a. So, in this case limit our function is not a continuous function. Then if limit x tending to a f x does not exist, that means limit x tending to a minus f x cannot equal to limit x tending to a plus f x. So, if left hand limit does not equal to right hand limit, then limit x tending to a f x does not exist. So, in this case our given function f x is not a continuous function. Then third is f x is not defined at x equal to a, that is f of a does not exist. The value of the function at x equal to a if does not exist, so in this case our function f x also fails to be continuous. The example, let us see an example on continuity. To discuss the continuity of the function f x given by f x is equal to 2 minus x when x is less than 2, and this f x is 2 plus x when x is greater or equal to 2 at x equal to 2. So, we have to discuss the continuity of given function at x equal to 2. So, we already know that for continuity we have to show that left hand limit equal to right hand limit equal to value of the function at that point, then then our function is continuous, otherwise not. So, we have left hand limit at x equal to 2 is limit x tends to 2 minus f x, which is equal to limit h tending to 0 f of 2 minus h, that is limit h tending to 0 f of 2 minus 2 plus h, because of we calculate here left hand limit at x equal to 2, that is limit x tending to 2 minus. So, when x is less than 2, when x is less than 2, our given function is 2 minus x. So, we replace x by 2 minus h in this function. So, hence we have limit h tending to 0 f of 2 minus 2 plus h, which is equal to 0. So, now right hand limit at x equal to 2. So, as limit x tends to 2 plus, that is x is greater than 2, f x is given by 2 plus x. So, here we have limit h tending to 0 f of 2 plus h, which is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of 2 plus h, which is 4. So, therefore, limit x tending to 2 minus f x does not equal to limit x tending to 2 plus f x, hence given function f x is not a continuous at x equal to 2. Then differentiability of a function, when we say that a given function is a differentiable function or not. So, definition is, let f x be a function and a be a point in its domain, then the right hand derivative, or it is also known as progressive derivative at x equal to a, to be denoted by r f dash a, is defined by r of f dash a is equal to limit h tending to 0 f of a plus h minus f a upon h, h tends to h is greater than 0. So, similarly, the left hand derivative, also known as regressive derivative at x equal to a, to be denoted by L f dash a and is defined by L of f dash a is equal to limit h tending to 0 f of a minus h minus f a upon minus h, h is greater than 0. So, when right hand derivative and left hand derivative both exist and equal, so we say that the function is differentiable and the common value is known as the derivative or the differential coefficient of f x at x equal to a. Then some important theorems on differentiability. Theorem 1 is, every function which has a finite derivative at a point is continuous at the point, but not conversely. That means, every function which has a finite derivative at a point is continuous, means every differentiable function is continuous, but not conversely, converse is not true. Theorem 2 is, a constant function is differentiable at every point always. Then a example on a differentiability. So, we have to show that the function f x is equal to x sin 1 by x, x cannot be 0, and when f x is 0, x equal to 0 is continuous, but not differentiable at x equal to 2. So, here we have to show that this given function is continuous, but not differentiable. So, as we know that for continuity we have to show that left hand limit of the function equal to right hand limit of the function is equal to value of the function at that point. So, for continuity here we observe that when x equal to 0, f x is 0, that is f of 0 equal to 0. Now, right hand limit. So, right hand limit is limit x tending to 0 plus f x equal to limit x tending to 0 plus x sin 1 upon x, which is equal to limit h tending to 0 0 plus h into sin 1 upon 0 plus h equal to limit h tending to 0 h into limit h tending to 0 sin 1 upon h. As we already know that प्रोडक्ट ऑफ टू फंक्शन के केस में लिमिट आपकी जो है वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो जाएगी. तो हेयर लिमिट h टेंडिंग टू 0 h इंटू लिमिट h टेंडिंग टू 0 sin 1 upon h. तो हेयर दिस लिमिट्स, what is this limit? When h tending to 0, this becomes 0, this becomes 0. Then about this limit, limit h tending to 0 sin 1 upon h. So as we know that the value of sin oscillate finitely between minus 1 and 1, that is finite quantity oscillate finitely between minus 1 and plus 1. So इस फाइनाइट क्वांटिटी को जब हम 0 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो दिस होल लिमिट बिकम्स 0. दैट इज हेयर राइट हैंड लिमिट इज 0, लेफ्ट हैंड लिमिट इज लिमिट x टेंडिंग टू 0 माइनस एफ एक्स इक्वल टू लिमिट x टेंडिंग टू 0 माइनस x ऑफ साइन 1 अपॉन x इक्वल टू लिमिट h टेंडिंग टू 0. When we replace x by 0 minus h in f x, then 0 minus h sin 1 upon 0 minus h, which is also equal to 0, because of this limits breaks as this is equal to limit h tending to 0 minus h into limit h tending to 0 sin minus 1 upon h. Then this value becomes 0 into some finite quantity oscillates between minus 1 and plus 1. So this whole becomes 0. So hence we have right hand limit is 0, left hand limit is 0, then hence we have limit x tending to 0 minus f x equal to limit x tending to 0 plus f x equal to f of 0 equal to 0. So thus f x is a continuous function at x equal to 0. For differentiability at x equal to 0, we have to calculate here a right hand derivative at x equal to 0, which is equal to limit x tending to 0 plus f x minus f of 0 upon x minus 0, that is limit x tending to 0 plus f x is x sin 1 upon x minus 0 upon x minus 0. So here we replace x by 0 plus h and taking a limit as h tending to 0. So limit h tending to 0, 0 plus h sin 1 upon 0 plus h upon h. So thus this is equal to limit h tending to 0 sin 1 upon h. A finite quantity lies between minus 1 and plus 1, but does not tend to a unique limit. So this limit does not tend to a unique limit, hence limit does not exist. Similarly, if we calculate left hand derivative at x equal to 0, then we see that left hand derivative is also does not exist. So similarly, we can prove that left hand derivative at x equal to 0 also does not exist. Therefore, the function is not differentiable at x equal to 0. Thank you very much.